Hello, please confirm if you are able to hear my voice. Are you able to hear me properly? Just put that in the comment section. Audio, video is perfect. Yes, thank you, Vacation App. So, namaste and welcome to Vedic Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazadi, and today I'm again with a new episode wherein I will, read your questions and will try to give you the explanation which will help you to get ahead in your learnings with Vedic astrology. Okay, so if you guys have any question, please share your question into the comment section and I will cover all the questions. Okay, and if you want to support my channel, you can support through super chat. Okay, now let's start with the questions. Namaskar. How to activate combust Saturn? I did not get your question. As in how to activate combust Saturn? No, I did not get your question. Thank you, sir. Aries Ascendant, Uttarashada Nakshatra, Rahu in the third house. In Punarvasu, Gemini, Saturn, both. Yeah, I think we discussed this in the last session. Mukeshji, please don't share your birth details here. Please. Can you please tell us about the Saturn retrograde and retrograde Jupiter conjunction? Yeah. So whenever there is a conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, if you're following me and following these sessions regularly, I always say that whenever you have this conjunction, you always have to be careful in your analysis because it's like a 36 years analysis because they have both of them have back-to-back dashas. Okay, and it's very important that you analyze them well. Okay, regarding the retrogression, when a planet goes like Saturn goes retrograde, it brings in all the Saturnian qualities and issues in your life. It makes you think about your work ethics, and you can change your work ethics. You can be more disciplined in life. You can bring in more Saturnian element into the way you work. Okay, if you have any project which has got delayed, you can start working on that, which will bring in success for you. So this is retrogression of Saturn is nothing but revisiting your unfinished work or structure of your work project and to make it work. Okay, so Saturn is the planet of karma, is work, and whenever it is retrograde, it just think of it as re. What is re? Is doing it again. Okay, we always talk about Mercury retrograde, like you have to send that mail again because of miscommunication, right? Similarly, for Saturn, it is about the karma. Saturn is also about the social fears, like what people will think about you, matters a lot when Saturn is retrograde. And for Jupiter retrograde, you will have to be careful with issues about your spirituality, about your belief system, and about money. Okay, and also to some extent with your mentors as well. Okay, and when these two planets are conjunct, so first of all, you have to see if these planets are not in Saturn's house or Jupiter's house. If they are into these two houses, then one of them becomes strong. Let's say we have Jupiter and Saturn conjunction into the sign of Pisces, right? So it is the sign of Jupiter. So Jupiter becomes powerful here. And let's say you're going through the Jupiter Mahadasha or Saturn Mahadasha, then it becomes difficult. Okay, so you have to analyze it with all the conditions in mind. Okay, this is extremely sensitive and powerful conjunction. Okay, people think Saturn Mars, Mars Rahu, Saturn Rahu is important conjunction. Yes, they are important, but Jupiter and Saturn conjunction is the most important, yet I would say underestimated conjunction of all the conjunctions. Okay, extremely powerful. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks for confirmation. Cancer Ascendant, Jupiter, Mahadasha, Saturn, Sun. I think yes, we discussed this in last. Hello, Prasadji. Thank you for doing sessions for us every Friday. Yes, thank you, Nehaji, and thanks for attending these sessions. And I hope these are helping you in some way. I just pray to God that I get the right words, I get the right guidance, and I could share that with all of you who are present here and should help them to get ahead in their studies in Vedic Astrology. Okay, yes, thank you, Nehaji. So, date of birth, please don't share your birth details here. Please don't share. Rahu in Purvashada Nakshatra with Ardra as ascendant. Yes. Rahu in Purvashada. See, Purvashada is a nakshatra which is about the victory. And Rahu is the planet which is about amplifying effect. Purvashada is more like a water, though it is the victory or invincible nature of Purvashada, yet uh, it has some element of friendliness and some Venusian qualities associated with Purvashada. Okay, unlike Uttarashada is extremely ruthless nakshatra in a way, unstoppable nakshatra. Okay, so when Rahu comes in here, it shows that you will be more strategic when it comes to making more money or to planning your resources. And always remember, wherever we have Rahu placed in, we act like a baby. We do some stupid things in that house. We tend to behave smart in that house and invite trouble. Okay, so yeah, it is given. So you always have to work on the Rahu houses. And again, this is a generic statement. Most of these things depend upon the lord of the Rahu and Ketu, their condition, and how they are placed into the chart. For example, this is Ardra Nakshatra, so Gemini ascendant. So Rahu is placed in Purvashada. I hope this is in the Rahu in Purvashada is in which house? Okay, I'm sorry, I thought it was Punarvasu. That's why I said second house. No, it is not. So just confirm the house. But the point here is whenever Rahu is in Purvashada, it gives tremendous energy to otherwise invincible nature of the Purvashada. Okay. So yeah. Namaste, sir. My 10th house Lord in the first house, the own sign. I think we discussed this last time. Yeah. Sir, good evening. Good evening. Asha Soniji. Yes, hello, sir. Yes, Asha Soniji. Welcome to the live session. I hope you're doing great and you are smiling. Saturn, 8th house Aquarius retrograde for Cancer Ascendant, Saturn in Dhanishta Nakshatra. When Saturn is in 8th house is the house of occult and mysticism. And it is also about the hidden things. And Saturn is also about the longevity, which is again about the 8th house. So when Saturn goes into the 8th house, this Saturn is interested into, occult and mysticism, or the things which are hidden, like esoteric things, occult, mystical things. These people are very interested into that. So yeah, Cancer Ascendant, Animesh Chandra, Cancer Ascendant, Mars in the first house. Yes, yes, yes. I think we discussed all these questions in the last session. I have Pisces Lagna with debilitated Jupiter in the 11th house, debilitated Venus in the 7th house, debilitated Sun in the 8th house with Ketu and Mercury. Please advise on health and wealth. Okay, so when it comes to health of a person, you have to check the Trimshamsha Dasha, Trimshamsha Varga chart, and you also have to see the connection between the first lord and the sixth lord. More so, you also have to give significance to the sixth lord. So your sixth house is Leo. So sixth house is Leo. So check out the Leo in your Kalpurush Kundali. In Kalpurush, Leo comes into the heart space. Okay, so make sure you have strength. You're doing exercise to add strength to your lungs, to your heart. Okay, and also make sure the connection between the first lord and the sixth lord. What is the effect of Saturn in the 7th house for Leo ascendant? From January onwards, please focus on marriage. Are you saying about the transit part, or you mean you have Saturn in the 7th house in natal chart? Okay, so when Saturn is in 7th house, in fact, it's a very good placement for Saturn. Why? First thing, in the natural horoscope, that is Kalapurush Kundali, the 7th house is ruled by Libra, which is the exaltation sign for Saturn. Okay, and which is also ruled by the Venus, which is friend of Saturn. Okay, so Saturn in the 7th house brings in a lot of responsibility towards the partner, and it also brings in the recognition, because the 7th house is 10th from the 10th, and Saturn is the planet of karma. So the planet of karma goes into the ultimate house of career, so it gives rise in career. Okay, but if you're talking about the transit, then things change completely. You need to see what's happening in the 7th house in the chart, and then you can apply and change the interpretation accordingly. What kind of karma somebody must have in their past life to have exalted planets? Please brief us about all planets. Being exalted doesn't mean good, and debilitated doesn't mean bad. Okay, it's just their way of dignity. When a planet is exalted, I would say more than exaltation, I love when planet is in its own sign, because for exaltation there is one more dependency on that lord again. For example, let's say Mars gets exalted into the sign of Capricorn, but again, what if my Saturn is getting debilitated into the sign of Aries? Okay, but in this case, there is an exchange between the Mars in Saturn sign and Saturn in Mars sign. But in all other cases, what happens is you need to have a dependency on the Lord again. In this case, we talked about Mars exalted into the Saturn. So I have to check the condition of the Saturn again to see the well-being of this Mars and so on. Okay, but let's say you have Mars placed into the sign of Scorpio or Aries. then you don't have any dependency. So I like when planet is in its own sign rather than debilitation or exaltation. I love when planets are placed in their own sign. Saturn Rahu conjunction in the 7th house, Navamsha, Jupiter, Sun, and Mercury, 11th house, Navamsha, in my Saturn March. I'm not able to say anything about this because this information is not sufficient. Pooja Gunjalji, Pooja Gunjal, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Moon sign, Moon and Saturn conjunct in the 12th house, 5th house. Okay, so Scorpio, so you're Sagittarius ascendant, and you are like Aries in the 5th house, and where you have Sun and Rahu conjunct, Sun gets exalted, and Rahu goes into the sign of Aries. And what it shows is it makes you a person who feels like your parents will make you feel special about you. Okay, so this is an important effect of Rahu and Saturn. Seventh house Purvashada. Yes. Moon and Ketu in the 6th house. Yeah, whenever we see the Moon and Ketu, just a second. Okay, I think voice was not there. Audio was not there. Okay. So we're talking about Moon and Ketu in the 6th house. So when Moon is in the 6th house, it shows the difficult relationship with the mother. Mother can be strict on you, may not be with your sibling because he has some other indication with mother. Okay, and you will feel, why me? So why you? Because you have Moon in the 6th house. The planet of mother gets into the sign of enemies. Okay, another thing about Moon and Ketu is these are the planets which shows the fear. Okay, and some childhood fears can surface out during Moon and Ketu period as well. Is Pro Falguni fourth Pada good for what? Okay. Asha Sodi, yes, sir. Yes, great. Great, Ashaji. Keep smiling. How to know our love life? Make a video on it if interested. Yeah, I've already made a couple of videos on how to know our love life. You can go and check on my playlist as well. Namaskar, I would like to know how will my work be affected as I have Sun and Mars in the 10th house in Libra, and how will be the eclipse change the work situations that I'm imagining. I have not seen the effect of eclipse. I won't be able to share it here, but I would definitely make a video on it, maybe, or maybe have a live session next time about it. Sir, my chart was not discussed in earlier videos, I think. Can you refer to my chart? No, don't share the chart, just share the question. Can I get the government job in Jupiter? I don't know. Hello, sir. I'm a CA finance student. So can you tell how will be my career? I'm Jupiter and I'm Sagittarius. and Rahu in 10th house, Venus. This information is not sufficient. But anyways, when you're judging the career, it is not only about the sun, it is also about the karaka. Like where is Saturn? Where is the 10th lord? What's happening in detail? These are the important factors. Okay, and also the Amatya karaka, the planet with the second highest. So Saturn in the fourth house aspected by Jupiter from Libra. From where it is aspected. Okay. Anyways, when Saturn is in the fourth house, the planet of work comes into the house of rest. Okay. So it directly affects your sleep. You will have difficult sleep patterns. Okay. You will stay away long. I'm Virgo Lagna, Saturn in the third, aspecting my sun and my combust Mars in 12th. Okay. Do I have to be scared of Saturn Mahadasha? No. Because Saturn is ruling one trinal house, that is Capricorn, the fifth house, and the sixth house, the which is about the Virgo. The fifth house with Saturn in the third house, but for Virgo Ascendant, Saturn is ruling the fifth house and the sixth house. Please don't share your birth details here. Please, please, please don't share. What is the effect of Saturn if placed in the? I think we discussed that. Libra Ascendant, Jupiter and Mercury are conjunct in the fourth house. Okay, great. And now, fourth house in Navamsha, what happens? I don't know about Navamsha because each planet in Navamsha comes as a degree, a specific degree of D1. Okay, so focus on D1 rather than D9 at this stage. Yes, D9 is also important, but don't jump to D9. Rahu in the first house, Gemini, Ketu conjunct Moon 7, okay. House in Sagittarius, Saturn in 6th house, Scorpio, Navamsha. Okay. Again, just bring out the D1 chart placement first. Okay, so